Welcome to the University of Illinois Wheelchair Track Team's video series on how to use finger-thumb glove style. I'm Adam Blakeney. I'm the head coach of the University of Illinois Wheelchair Track Team. In this video, we'll cover the third of four phases comprising the racing wheelchair stroke, once again framing the discussion so as to highlight the proper use of a finger-thumb glove style. The stroke's third phase is called the release. Although we call this phase the release, a more accurate way to describe what's happening is throwing the hand ring. Whereas release suggests a more passive role of the athlete, throwing the hand ring captures the aggressive and dynamic movement that takes place during optimal release. We have two goals during the release. The first is to complete the S, which describes the movement of the hand from load through drive through release. We designate the S specific to the left hand and the reverse S when referencing the right hand. More on that in a second. The second goal of optimal release is to apply late hour force, meaning that the athlete maintains force application in the final few hours of hand ring coverage. Let's look a bit more closely at the goal of completing the S. This image depicts the movement of the hand during the load, drive, and release phases. The green area indicates the load phase in the early part of the drive phase. The blue area indicates the drive phase, and the gray area indicates the release phase. The hand is represented by a few different shapes. A rectangle represents the thumb, the circle represents the pinky, which are both connected by a line, which represents the hand. The red lines are the wheel and the hand ring. Now this view is of the right hand from the rear. Notice how the reverse S, drawn in yellow, is created as the hand moves from pronation in the green to supination in the blue and back to pronation in the gray. If that was a little confusing, this video will likely offer better visualization of this concept. Here we see an athlete completing the S, left arm, rear view. Watch how the hand moves from load, through drive, and through release. Pay particular attention to the pinky and how it moves, and how that movement defines hand position through each of these phases, creating an S, indicated by the yellow marker. When we see the athlete complete the S, we know that they've appropriately cleared the fingers from the hand ring and done so by digging in the final hours of coverage. More broadly speaking, if the athlete achieves an S, or the reverse S on the right hand, we know they've achieved correct hand position in each of the phases, load, drive, and release. The second goal of release is to apply late hour force. Ideally, we'd see these final few hours occur from 6 o'clock to 8:30. We can see this occurring here. Notice how the finger shelf drives into the hand ring from 6 o'clock to nearly 9 o'clock for this athlete. Now, a key contrast between a traditional flat glove and a finger-thumb style is this. On a flat glove, we taught the athlete simply to move the glove smoothly off the hand ring during the final few hours of drive. The fundamental aim being to avoid applying any braking forces on the hand ring. With the finger-thumb style, we better advantage those final hours. Not only are we seeking to avoid braking forces, we are additionally seeking to continue to apply propulsive forces. This animation illustrates how the glove interfaces with the hand ring during late hour force application. Notice how that finger shelf digs into the hand ring. Now here's a side view of an outstanding release. Pay particular attention to what the hand's doing from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Notice that the thumb is driving down toward the floor. This happens simultaneously to it rotating outward, as we highlighted in previous videos from the rear view. We use a couple different cues with athletes during the release phase. The first cue is drive through the back of the hand ring. We often see athletes allow the hand ring to truncate their force application. That is to say, as their arms near full elbow extension, they pull away from the hand ring. When that happens, they don't achieve late hour force. By stressing, drive through the back of the hand ring, we cue the athlete to dig in with the finger shelf of the glove. The second cue we use is make the hand ring pop. The intent is to cue the athlete to accelerate the hand ring upon release. This video shows an athlete doing exactly that. Notice how they accelerate the wheel upon releasing it, the arm acting like a whip with the velocity snapping out of the fingers like the popper on a whip. The popper is the tip of the whip. This transfer of energy from the body through the fingers to achieve what is called proximal to distal loading is critical to optimal performance. A very common mistake on release is to pull up on the hand ring. This is generally done in an effort to maintain contact with the hand ring and achieve additional hours of coverage, which, no question, it does do. But the additional contact done in this way runs counter to the goal of accelerating the hand ring upon release. Instead, by pulling up on the hand ring, the athlete applies a late hour braking force on the hand ring. Digging a little deeper on this, let's consider an idea I alluded to earlier, proximal to distal loading, during which energy is transferred from the body's center, proximal, to the fingertips, distal. This image intends to show this action with the yellow circles indicating energy and arrow indicating direction of flow. Note how from image 1 to 4, these yellow circles move from the body's center and into the fingers. Now, when an athlete pulls up on the hand ring during a release, they effectively swim upstream against this flow of energy as they engage their posterior shoulder and lats to create force. By doing so, by moving back into larger muscle systems, they slow the velocity of the limb and in turn slow the hand ring. To cap this discussion, let's watch an example of an athlete with elite level release.